Hello, Soul Sister. Welcome to another episode of Midlife Love Out Loud. I've got a very special treat today. I've got two amazing goddesses in the house. I have Ashanna Solaris and Dana Dharma Devi. Hello, sisters.
Hello,
Hello, Judy Moon and everyone.
This is the first time I've had a threesome on my Midlife Love Out
how
Loud.
exciting. Triple goddess.
And I'm really so excited to share you. These are two women that I truly love, two women that are doing amazing work in the world. And I'm so grateful to be able to call them my friends. And oh my God, this is different. It's special. And let me tell you a little bit about who these amazing women are. So Ashanna Solaris and Dana Dharma Devi have been sharing breathwork and healing for over 40 years and have pioneered their own process called Clarity Breathwork. And that's a gentle, compassionate, feminine approach to breathing and healing that's been shifting lives around the planet. They combine their many years of experience and gifts together in a beautiful and profound way that touches and awakens their students. And they're going to share some of their beautiful sounds and tools with you today, as well as talking to you about what this is, like how breathwork can change your life and how does that fit in with calling in more love or having just more love in your life. So Dana, Ashana, yay!
Yay, Junie.
I do love you both so much. You, for those of you that are listening on the audio, I encourage you to go to the YouTube and see these gorgeous goddesses. So let's dive in, like breathwork.
Yes.
I would love for you to just like start with what the frig is breathwork. You know, we all breathe. I mean, do we have to work at breathing? What does that mean? Why would we do it? And how, and connect the dots about like, how does this work with calling in love and having lasting love? Who wants to take it away?
Oh, yeah, dive in.
Yeah, I could start because I noticed right now it's like it's important to take a breath. And breath is freedom. Breath is it's a gift that we all have, right? So it helps to open the heart. And I like to say that if you don't take a deep breath, right, a single breath can save a relationship, can save a marriage, can save a career. Because when we don't breathe and we react, there's a repair that needs to happen. And there's energy, and it's, there's a cleanup. It can be done. If we take a few breaths, we now have the ability to respond from our hearts. And so it's a place of that we haven't been taught how to use that medicine of our breath well. That's what
I love that. You know, and as you're talking, we're all three of us are like, let's breathe. And as we breathe,
right.
and I took that breath, it was like my whole body just relaxed, and it created space. And I know that's a lot. Like when you mentioned reactivity, that's a huge thing because something happens and we jump right in, and there is a moment, there's a fraction, there's a space between something that's happening and what we want to do about it or how we're being. And that breath is a tool to slow it down and open to something else. Love it.
Yes. And I would just add to that, most of us don't breathe fully. We're holding our breath. We're holding back our life force energy. We might have been holding it since the first breath, when most times the cord was cut too soon. And we might have even, in the old days, we were hung upside down and spanked. They don't do that so much anymore. So that first breath might have been the fear. And then the fear that I'm not safe, I'm not supported, I don't belong, I'm not supposed to be here. And then when we were taken away and put in the isolette, I'm alone. And so particularly for women that want to attract midlife extraordinary love, like you are coaching them to do, it's essential that we bring breath back to those parts of ourselves that got stuck And that it's not only through the birth experience, it's through our childhood experience. If our parents were fighting, if there was trauma in the home or pressure at school, the human organism holds the breath and goes into a freeze and has all these imprints and beliefs. I'm not lovable. I'm not okay as I am. And we're holding on to all of this. And we need a safe and sacred tool. And for me, the breath work is a miracle tool. It's a miracle tool to help us breathe and release what we've been carrying in our nervous systems, in our hearts, in our minds. And how many of us that are wanting to attract love in our lives are carrying old baggage from past relationships. And for us, one of the greatest ways breath work can help us magnetize love is by helping us breathe out the past, our history, what we went through, our imprints, and breathe in our essential worthiness to be loved. And when we've got that, and when we can breathe into our own self-love, then love begins to appear all around us. It was there all
Everywhere.
along, but we couldn't see it because we were trapped in our ideas of the past.
Wow. So we're not even just talking about presence and openness. We're talking about deep healing work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we all need deep healing work because we all went through a lot to get where we are now.
And most of us were hung upside down, and we had a male obstetrician. So we can easily have formed in at that moment that life is pain, men hurt me. Because you had 24-hour womb service, and there you. So it's like when I come out and reveal myself, I'm going to be hurt.
Right. When I enter a new relationship, I'm going to be hurt. It's not safe. And so we wonder why part of us is saying, yes, come, I want this. And then another part is saying, absolutely not. I'm going to get hurt again.
Yeah.
So
and this is all held in the body.
Part.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the cellular
this is a huge
memory.
tool.
Yeah.
And the breath is gentle. It's especially the path that Dana and I have pioneered over the last, it's really 7 decades combined. We have to update our bio, but the path that has naturally, organically arisen through working with thousands of people is that it needs to be gentle. It really needs to be gentle. And when we breathe in this gentle way and we allow in this presence of unconditional love, then we can heal our wounds and we can open to a present reality of love, of abundance, of joy, more joy.
You're talking about gentleness, and I know the watchers and the listeners are just sensing that just from you. Both of you have such a gentle way about you and a heart-centered, open way about you. And I actually had the honor of experiencing your work. I had a private session with Dana. I don't know if you know that, Ashana. You probably do. You probably do. Yeah. And it was so gentle and so loving and so profound. And it was layers and layers of opening and going back in time and peeling back these memories and experiences, and then allowing new energy, new beliefs, my body just shifted and opened in a very different way than I was used to. And again, I want to come back to the word gentleness, because so many people are so hard on themselves and they're pushing themselves and they're criticizing themselves and wondering, why is it so hard? Why is it so challenging to be kind to ourselves and to trust? And I love that you're saying this goes back. This goes back deeply, not just in time, but in our bodies, in our cells. So this is like powerful, powerful work. And I'm curious if you can maybe share some of the experiences you've had with your clients and how this work has actually supported them to relax their nervous system and shift and open to healthier love and healthier ways of being in their life.
We love
many stories.
Many stories, but
I bet.
what immediately comes to mind, Junie, and everybody listening is I've met so many, mostly women in my practice, that really wanted to call love into their lives and felt very stuck and very blocked. And I learned a process that then I adapted in my own way from Dana. When I first met Dana, I said, how do you attract a relationship? And she laid out, like the 7-step plan of how to attract relationship. So I did it. I attracted beautiful love into my life. And then these clients would come and I would say, let's do this process and let's breathe. And so many, I'm countless. And then I'm a non-denominational minister as well. So I got to marry all of these couples to their beloveds. So they breathed out the blocks. They breathed out all of the fears of having a relationship, the negative thoughts about having a relationship, the negative thoughts about the sex they were trying to attract. Mostly they were trying to attract men, some are trying to attract women. What were those negative thoughts? Forgiveness work is so important, and really calling in what they wanted. And then they met their partner and they brought their partner to breathwork, who also breathed. And then they ended up getting engaged, getting married. I performed many of the weddings. Dana came with her flutes, and then they began having babies. And we just ran into some of our clients, and the babies are now 18 years old, all grown up.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
baby blessings. And it's just so satisfying to see that love is natural and organic. And yet there's some work to do to clear and cleanse out the stuff that's in the way. And the last thing I want to say here, and then I'll turn it over to Dana, is, we think like, why don't I have love in my life? Well, there's some part of us that isn't ready. And instead of criticizing that part of us that isn't ready, or criticizing ourselves for not attracting it, we can do the deeper work of, okay, so what, sweetheart, you're not ready. So what part of you isn't ready? And then that part will bring forward, well, I got hurt here. Well, I won't be loved because of my body. And then we can dive into that and do that work to clear that. And when we do, love appears.
Yep. Dana, you want to add to that?
Yes, because the breathing, and then the presence, right? It's the energy that we hold as well, because there are a lot of different breathwork schools and styles, and so we have really a presence that allows the safety, right, so that people can see, and then the breath is the miracle cure, right? It's our own. It's right within us, and when you unlock that key, you breathe, and it's like Ashana mentioned, forgiveness. When the heart opens because you're breathing into it, I've seen people that are like totally they want to not be in their bodies or their life anymore. They're in so much pain about a breakup or such. And then they breathe and they're like, oh my God, I am shifting. I'm shifting. And it's just natural. So in a way, we're the watchers, we're the observers, we're holding space for them. We know the power of the breath for ourselves and others. And then the clients become, for me, they become my teachers, because I'm witnessing, and it's like extraordinary. Forgiveness follows, right? Gratitude, life loves a grateful heart. So when you breathe into it, because we breathe into the heart, upper chest, up to the crown, our essence appears. And love can only give love. Love only wants to forgive and to release. And so it takes time. And yet there's something, the holy instant, like where a miracle can happen. Like I know the couples Ashana's speaking of, and then people, they become our students, or it's like they're everywhere. The desire to love and be loved, it's right there. That's what we really want. We don't want to hold resentment. We don't want to hang on to our grievance. And we just haven't been taught how, but it's so safe to let go and to keep opening and keep rising. And it's such a beautiful journey. It's like, people that are afraid or nervous around it, it's like they go, oh my God, it's so beautiful. So that's what I would add. And there's much more.
Oh my God, I know we could talk for forever. I also want to just, because I know when I was going into your session, Dana, I was like, what are we going to do? Are we just going to like lie there and then, and I'm just going to breathe, like I'm going to be breathing for an hour. Like I do that every day,
Yeah,
24
right.
hours actually. And I know I'm sure there's at least one person that's curious, what exactly is breath work? So we're talking about the concept, which is like, releasing, opening, healing, layers, allowing. What exactly is breath work?
Shanna, you want
Well,
to go?
I can speak to clarity breath work. Clarity
Yes.
breath work is a gentle technique of breathing in a circular fashion. So we breathe in through the mouth and out through the mouth. And there's no pauses on the inhale or the exhale. So it's just a complete. And what happens while you do that, a session is usually first we get to know a person, we find out what they're working with, what are their issues, what do they want. We start to unravel some of the conditioning that might be holding them back. We start to find the resources that are really going to support them to move forward. And then they lay down, either on Zoom or in person, they lay down and they start doing this connected breath. And what that does is it starts to oxygenate the body, oxygenates the cell. It starts to move out, stuff that we've been holding on to in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts. And we may start to get tingly all over. I don't know if you got tingly, Junie, but we call it a cellular cleansing. Emotions that we've been suppressing, they start to come up and be felt. We may get in touch with a thought we had about ourselves, that I'm
Yeah.
not worthy of love is a common thought in our Western culture. And then we would help them unravel, go to the source of that thought. It was when my father left, when I was a child.
Yeah.
Can we bring love there? Breathe to that place. Bring love. We are bringing all the parts of us back home to love. We may
Thank
even have
you.
visitations. We have many times a grandmother appears, someone who crossed over appears and takes their hand and lets them know that everything is okay and that they love them. Or an apology might come from someone that hurt us. And so many things can happen in a breathwork session. And after, 30 years of leading breathwork, I'm still blown away daily by the miracles and insights that people have simply from allowing that circular connected breath.
Yeah. There's so much there. And there was one thing that just kind of like hit me, like in the West, the belief of where we don't deserve love. Like, what the fuck? Just
Did you say that, Junie?
like,
It's
seriously,
true.
like
It's
what?
true.
Like the things that we've picked up in the cultural conditioning. So I'm just so grateful that you are doing the work, because I know that you're impacting so many. So what would you like to share with this soul sister? What piece of this toolbox are you going to offer today?
Well, I would share. I play multiple flutes, world flutes, about 30 of them, and I won't play all 30. We don't have that much time, right, Junie? But the flute helps to open the heart. It's the greatest instrument to open the heart. So, and Ashana is a masterful light body activation meditation teacher, and she brings through. She's an incredible channel. So we create the safe and sacred space before our, when we're live, and we are live. So we want to give you a taste,
Yay.
and we'll share about the breath as well. So
Great. So
Yeah.
Dana's gonna bring us into the heart space with her flutes, and then I'm gonna start to guide you into connecting with your breath, bringing it into your whole body, and we're gonna focus on calling in extraordinary love, because that's why we're all here, right? To not only call it in, but to experience it, and to know that we're worthy of having that. So take a deep breath right now. We've already described the breath, the open mouth, the silent ah on the inhale, silent ha on the exhale. And we
really
invite you
into the heart.
to go within, and we're going to go ahead and begin just for a 5-minute journey. Close your eyes if they aren't already. And then let go on the exhale. Bring the inhale right back in, and let's place a hand on our hearts and a hand on our bellies. Breathing in to your precious heart. Breathing out and letting go of anything that has blocked you from attracting extraordinary love. We can let it go, sisters. We don't have to hold the past. And keep breathing and allowing. And while you still have your hand on your heart and your belly, I want you to love yourself even more. I want to feel with you how valuable and unique and beautiful and worthy that you are. And to say it to yourself silently as you breathe, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of lasting, extraordinary love. I am worthy to love myself. Use your breath and let's send it back to that little one that came into this world. Welcome her. Tell her you did it. You came into life. You're a rock star, a superstar, and I am here as your adult self to deliver you into extraordinary love. You came here for this. And just bring her home to your heart, as if you could cradle her, rock her, hold her, tell her how beautiful she is. Use your breath to wrap her in a blanket of your love. You are so worthy and precious. And if you'd like, you can hold her in your lap, resting your hands in your lap for a moment as you are cradled and she is cradled. Take several more breaths and let's send that breath back into any time, any place where you believed that you weren't worthy of love, where you believed that perhaps love was not possible for you. Or if you decided that you would stay alone because love was too painful. Let's just send our love, our ripple of light back through time, through space, into the body, into the heart. And let's begin to focus with your breath on those times you knew you were loved. Those times you were reflected in beauty, a loving touch, a kind gaze. And let's bring all the moments of love into this present moment and surround ourselves in a cocoon of light, in a new reality where extraordinary love is ordinary. Take a deep breath, surround yourself in that cocoon of light. Let's open our hearts wider, sisters. Let's radiate like a beacon of light out, and let's call in that partner that you are wanting to receive in your life, who knows you by heart, who has extraordinary love for you. And let's just imagine that he is coming towards you, and let's take his hands. And if you are wanting a woman partner, take her hands and look into those eyes. I remember you, for we have known each other before, and we will know each other again. And feel your hearts connecting, and ask Source with the power of your breath to make you ready, to prepare you to be a sanctuary for profound and lasting love. And make sure, sister, that you are at the heart of it. Your self-love, your self-worth. It's no longer an option to not claim it. So let's take 3 more breaths. Open your hands wide. And let's say, I claim it. I claim my self-love, my self-worth. I claim me. And I allow extraordinary love into my life now. Let's put our hands in prayer position, feeling the benefit of the breath in every cell of your body. You might be tingling. And let us dedicate this practice to your highest good, to your greatest unfolding, and to extraordinary love. Take another breath and breathe in those last notes of the flute, and let's offer it up by sending our arms up into the air and just setting it free, trusting in divine time. You are on time, sister. You are right on time. And when you're ready, you can take another breath and slowly open your eyes.
Wrap your arms around yourself, giving thanks that you are the love, even if
I gotta
you forgot.
wipe my tears away. Oh my God, my heart just like blasted wide open. There were so many pieces to that. And like a stillness, like just a peaceful, gentle stillness that was allowing things to move through me. And then allowed me also to hear some of the things that you said about calling in new love, that they will know me by heart, by heart. And I love that. Like, and then the in time, like our time, the time, like this idea that we have to make something happen versus just opening and allowing this flow.
Or this thought that it's too late, or we missed the boat. You know, Dana and I officiated a wedding a couple of years ago for an 80-year-old and an 85-year-old. So it's never too late, couple, and we're like right so on time.
Yeah, right on
and, you know,
time.
we want to be ready, and we want to have the maturity, and sometimes we don't have that until midlife.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the most beautiful things about this stage of life is we know so much, and we know there's more to learn as well as empty out, because we really want to get the second half in alignment in a way that just feels so right and beautiful. I also, before, I know you have this awesome gift for this soul sister, but I also want to just share, you mentioned 7 steps, which made me think of an event that you have coming up, because there's a 7 in that as well. Why don't you share a little bit? Because, you know, people are listening to this and watching this, and you do this event often. And so for those of you that are listening at this time, it might work. So share like a little bit about what's coming up.
We do it twice a year, and we call it Vibrate Up Next Level. This is Vibrate Up Next Level, which is focusing on clarity, abundance, and purpose. And it is 7 days, 7 chakras, 7 tools to activate your true potential. And it's a combination of all of our gifts. You'll hear more flutes, more meditations, and you'll get to do daily breath work. And we'll move through the chakras, clearing and cleansing them out so that we can reset them to clarity, abundance, purpose. Love, whatever you want to magnetize in your life, it's here for you.
Yeah, I will make sure to put the link in the show notes, because this is such a spectacular event. You definitely do not want to miss it. Meanwhile, they have something that you could have right now. So why don't you share what it's free, this thing called Embracing the Sacred Feminine. Oh, do tell.
It's a beautiful CD that Dana and I recorded together. So it's her flutes
Mm.
and it's my meditations. And the first one is Woman's Healing Journey, which is so essential for us to heal our bodies and connect with Mother Earth. And then Dana shares a beautiful Divine Mother prayer. And then we do a journey to claim who we really are from the stars and to claim our sort of power and truth. And you can click on the link that Jeannie's going to share with you and just download Embracing the Sacred Feminine. And that will really help you because we've got to come into our feminine in order to attract
Yeah.
the masculine. We can't do it from our masculine. And yet
Yep.
we've all been trained. We've all been trained to try to do it from our masculine. So check it
Yeah.
out. And we'd love to hear your reports.
And that's the thing, using these tools is bringing us home to our hearts, our truth, being authentic and open and in our flow as the feminine goddess that we are. And so when we can connect to that divinity that's within us and around us, we will shine. And that's what's going to attract that divine partner, that divine right partner that you're looking for. And it starts with our own hearts. So these tools are just mind blowing, heart blowing, all of the blowing.
I wanted to add one thing that for me, I trekked to India 17 times to go to the Divine Mother Festival and to learn about the sacred feminine. And I went to these places and to study and participate, and yet the ceremony is right here. The opportunity is right here. We are the sacred, and we are divine, and we just forgot. We made up all these stories. So breath can do that
Yeah.
for us. Your beautiful work, Junie, to really help unravel the pieces, and then here we are, the gem all along. So
The remembering. Yes, the remembering. Thank you, sisters. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Junie.
I'm so glad you had some time to share this wisdom and
So
these
glad.
tools to my lovely soul sisters that listen in.
So glad we could be here with all of you. Yes.
Yes, yes. So for those of you, this is our episode for the week. And I'm always saying, subscribe, like, share. Think of a soul sister that really could use this tool to connect to her heart, to empty out and open to the divine. Please think about at least one person that you might want to share this with, and comments below. We want to know your comments. This is also how we connect with you and support you. So until we meet again, keep breathing. That's important. And use your breath in this way, in this beautiful, structured, open, amazing way, and check out their delicious offerings. So until we meet again, mwah.